While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the NBA, WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not when she gave that.
Patrick Bet-David has sparked intense debate after delivering a sharp response to Brittney Griner's recent remarks about Caitlin Clark and the growing attention surrounding the WNBA. Griner's comments about crowd behavior and perceived racial undertones quickly became a major talking point, but Bet-David pushed back without hesitation. He reminded viewers of Griner's time in a Russian prison and questioned why she would criticize the league's growing fan support instead of appreciating it. His reaction immediately fueled discussion across the basketball world.
From 41. What the hell is going on with WNBA that they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and anger?
Bet-David argued that Griner's complaints overlooked the bigger picture. After everything she experienced overseas, he suggested that returning home to play basketball in front of passionate American fans should be viewed as an opportunity rather than a problem. Instead of focusing on louder arenas and increased expectations, he believed players should recognize how much the league has benefited from its recent surge in popularity. His response resonated with many viewers who felt the WNBA's growing fan base should be celebrated, not criticized.
I'd have fun with you. Brittney Griner, what she says, right there, watch this. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching.
The controversy began after Griner reflected on how different WNBA games used to feel. She described a time when arenas were much quieter and implied that today's larger, louder crowds have created a different atmosphere. She also mentioned hearing comments from fans that she believed could have contained racial undertones. Those remarks quickly spread across social media, leading to widespread debate. Bet-David challenged that perspective, arguing that enthusiastic crowds are a natural part of professional sports and should not automatically be viewed through a negative lens.
To be a chill, quiet place, you could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are! The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some light racism. But
Bet-David also reminded audiences of Griner's highly publicized imprisonment in Russia and the extraordinary efforts made to bring her back to the United States. He noted that the government negotiated a major prisoner exchange to secure her release, making her return home one of the biggest international sports stories in recent memory. In his view, someone who had experienced such difficult circumstances would be expected to value every opportunity to compete freely in front of enthusiastic fans. That comparison became one of the strongest and most talked about points from his commentary.
Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about, especially something like this.
The discussion became even more controversial when attention shifted to the prisoner exchange that secured Griner's release. The United States agreed to free Victor Bout, a convicted international arms dealer, in exchange for bringing Griner home. Bet-David used that fact to emphasize the magnitude of the effort made on her behalf. He argued that someone who had been given such a second chance should approach every opportunity in the WNBA with greater appreciation, rather than frustration over increased fan attention.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena. So, and then when you, clearly she's not remembering who they let out to get her back.
The Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens.
Bet-David continued by saying that Griner's criticism of louder crowds seemed completely out of touch with the league's current reality. The WNBA is experiencing record-breaking interest, larger audiences, and stronger financial growth than ever before. According to him, those energetic crowds represent progress, not a problem. Passionate fans create better television ratings, stronger ticket sales, and increased revenue that ultimately benefits every player in the league.
Says they want to get paid more. They're saying this year they're going to make $1 billion. That's what they're saying, okay? For the first time ever. Now that Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks, did you see ticket prices? Insane. Let me read you the ticket prices. After Caitlin Clark's been hurt for 2 weeks, all right? So let's go through this. Caitlin Clark absence is having an immediate impact beyond the court. According to data shared by Yahoo Sports via TickPick, prices for 2 specific Indiana Fever away games against the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics dropped sharply after Clark was sidelined. Before the injury, the lowest ticket available for Fever's matchup in Chicago was $86. For the game in Washington, fans needed at least $41 to get in. After the news of Clark's absence, those get-in prices fell to $25 from $86 and $14.
He also pointed to Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA's rapid rise in popularity. BetDavid acknowledged that Clark's arrival has attracted millions of new viewers, dramatically increased attendance, and brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball. While some players have questioned the spotlight surrounding Clark, he argued that her influence is supported by measurable results, including television ratings, sold-out arenas, and surging merchandise sales. In his view, those numbers speak louder than any personal opinion.
And she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She could pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this attention. And maybe it's because that fan base that she has and her being a young white lady.
Another major point focused on how some critics have connected Clark's popularity to race rather than performance. BetDavid recognized that race may influence certain public discussions, but he insisted that Clark's success is ultimately driven by her exceptional talent and exciting style of play. Her ability to score from long range, create opportunities for teammates, and consistently deliver in high-pressure moments has made her one of the league's biggest attractions. He argued that reducing her success to racial narratives ignores the impact she continues to make on the court. To reinforce his argument, BetDavid highlighted the dramatic changes in ticket prices whenever Caitlin Clark was unavailable. He pointed out that several Indiana Fever games saw a significant drop in demand after Clark missed time with an injury. Ticket prices that had been selling for premium rates suddenly fell, demonstrating just how much interest she generates. According to BetDavid, those market trends provide clear evidence that Clark has become the biggest attraction in the WNBA and a driving force behind the league's financial growth. He also compared today's WNBA to its earlier years, when many games were played in front of small crowds with limited national attention. BetDavid argued that the league struggled for decades because it failed to capture widespread public interest. Clark's arrival changed that landscape almost overnight. Packed arenas, national media coverage, and record-breaking television audiences have transformed the WNBA into one of the fastest-growing sports leagues. Rather than resisting those changes, he believes players should embrace the opportunity they create. Another point BetDavid raised was the reality of playing professional sports. He explained that athletes in every major league, from the NBA and NFL to Major League Baseball and the NHL, compete in loud, emotional environments filled with passionate fans. Crowd reactions, criticism, and intense pressure are simply part of the job. In his opinion, expecting a quieter atmosphere while benefiting from professional salaries and growing popularity misunderstands what comes with competing at the highest level. BetDavid concluded that mainstream success always brings greater expectations. Increased attention means more pressure, more media coverage, and more public scrutiny. That's the reality faced by every successful athlete and every growing sports league. He argued that instead of viewing enthusiastic fans as a burden, WNBA players should recognize them as the reason the league continues to expand. In his view, passionate supporters are not the problem. They are the foundation of the WNBA's future success.